This is the 175th episode in the Non-League to Legend series, which is a bit mental, really. Do we get a cake? No? Brilliant. Hello and welcome to part 3 of the 2034 World Cup England extravaganza. I think that's what I called it yesterday. And bearing in mind I'm only recording this 20 minutes after I did yesterday's intro, you'd think I'd probably get it right. We're playing in the second round of the World Cup. We're playing against South Korea, and this is the team that we're going to be using. We're having to rotate a little bit because England players apparently are desperately unfit. Just looking at some of the players who are too unfit to play. Lewis Bradford, Carl Whitfield, Ryan Nielsen, who's only played one game in this tournament so far. Liam Talbot, Brad Skinner even. Don't mention Brad Skinner. But Brad Skinner, even he's struggling a little bit. Not quite so much as some of the players who are still in the team. Players I'd like to rest but can't. Copeland, Tunnicliffe, Simpson, Roberts, Jacobs even. Adu. I hope everyone else is suffering like this. This is nuts. So the team that we're playing against South Africa, Matt Lee is in goal, a back four, and 3 of them have returned from their suspension, which is rather handy. So a back four of Steele, Copeland, Osborne and Simpson. Robinson, Jacobs and Adu make up the midfield, and then Jerome Simpson in behind the one that got away, and Andy Tunnicliffe. Let's get into this game. So Germany have just beaten Portugal, so they're through to, is it the quarter-final after the second round? I think it is. The World Cup confuses me. Right, so that said we could play Holland. So we're favourites, and it was set up a game against Holland in the next round. I've got a horrible feeling it was Holland who knocked us out of Euro 2032. I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments if that was the case. We don't need the latest scores on anymore, because all we care about is what's going on the pitch today. I suppose it would be cathartic to get some revenge on Holland if they were the team that knocked us out last time round. Go and beat them and prove that we're real challengers for this World Cup. Or do a proper England, get knocked out in the quarterfinal the first time you play someone any good, and then Kevin Chapman gets to retire onto his beach pool house thing. The one that got away has just got his 3rd goal of the World Cup. I wonder if he's interested in going to Bolton. Might get my boy to get in touch and see if Bolton can get hold of him. I have heard on the grapevine that Bolton tried to sign Christian Arendt this week, who was released on a free transfer by Ipswich. He sort of chuckled a little bit during the interview. He did actually get to the point where he would respond to questions, but even when offered the captaincy, wasn't interested. Apparently being made captain would upset some of the other players. So it turns out the video just sort of stopped. I've got lots of me talking but no actual game footage for the rest of the game. We won 3-0. Yay! Goals from the one that got away, Ron Osborne and Michael Robinson. We then switched things up in the second half, went to a 4-2-3-1 and brought on the 2 wide men, Ricardo Prescott and Paul Gillespie. Prescott making his England debut and probably his only appearance at the World Cup. But yeah, unfortunately, don't have any more of the South Korea games. So although I had planned for that to be the only game in today's episode, we're going to do the quarterfinal as well. This is why we didn't have an episode out yesterday, because I sat there on Saturday morning panicking about where on earth the other half of this game went, especially as I was due to be out all day. So here I am, Saturday evening, having just finished a game of Fallout Monopoly, which I won, of course. And we're playing the quarterfinal of the World Cup against Holland. Now, Holland are the team that knocked us out of Euro 2032 2 years ago. And we are really struggling for fitness. I mean, look at the fitness levels of these players. We've got only 2 players above 90% outfield. Everyone wants a rest. The one that got away is absolutely shattered. I've had to drop him to the bench. He's only on 83% fitness. So Kyle Whitfield comes in up front to go alongside Tunnicliffe. Simpson stays in midfield. Talbot comes back into the side in midfield alongside Bradford and Adu just to drop whoever's usually there. Jacobs drops down because, again, he's absolutely shattered. And then a back four of Steele, Nielsen, Simpson and Osborne in front of Matt Lee. I'm a little bit worried. I had hoped this series was going to last a little bit longer than 3 episodes. But, you know, Holland are a bit good. Bart David's in the goals again. We all know how good he is. We also all know how good Ricardo Jans is from Manchester City. And quite frankly, the 2 of them are head and shoulders above anybody in this England squad. So if we manage to do it, it's going to be one of those wonderful one-off tournament performances that don't come along very often. So fingers crossed. Come on, England. A semi-final place in the World Cup awaits. This could very well be Kevin Chapman's final game in football management. The moment we are either knocked out of this tournament or win it, I'm retiring. And it looks like you might be seeing the retirement speech this episode. I feel like I should be wearing a suit. Where's Thierry Ambrose's tie? No, not a tie. We're saving it for the final, but I mean, look at that. That's just a beautiful free kick. Matt Lee does his very best, but doesn't get anywhere near it. Holland are 1-0 up after 8 minutes. It's already feeling a little bit like that Germany game all over again. We've made massive progress in the 4 years since I've been England manager, going from 32nd, 33rd in the world at one point, to a team who are probably a top 10 team in the world, but there's still a big gap between us and the top 4, and Germany and Holland are definitely in that top 4, and we are struggling today. So Adu picks the ball up, finds Tunnicliffe. Can we snatch an equaliser? Osborne, another yellow card of him, but Talbot intercepts in midfield. The one that got away is itching to come on. He's going to be on at some point in the second half. But Simpson finds Tunnicliffe. Can he score from there? I mean, really would expect Andy Tunnicliffe to do a little bit better there. We know how good he is and how clinical he can be. He's almost a goal a game man for England in over 60 appearances now for England. So you'd expect a goal from him because he's only got a couple of goals so far this World Cup. He's not showing his absolute best yet. Oh, look at the state of that fitness of that team. And it's the same 3 in the back 4 on yellow cards again. They've already all served a suspension at the same time before. I'm pretty sure they'll all be suspended for the semi-final if we get there, so there's no point anyway. Oh, don't go out like this. I mean, look, we've actually had more possession, more shots. We've had the only clear-cut chance of the game. The stats actually say we should be winning, but Holland are just better than we are. Right, Steele with the chance to cross. It sort of bounces off their defender, finds its way back to the goalkeeper. We should have been challenging, and we weren't. Steele intercepts again. We can't just go out with a whimper the way it looks like we're going to. We are giving it everything we've got. Steele with a throw-in. Whitfield. Steele again to Bradford. Adu, Simpson. Tunnicliffe is in, and it's 1-1 in the World Cup quarter-final. Andy Tunnicliffe does have, I think that's his 3rd or 4th goal of the tournament now. I mean, if you look purely on shots, we are ahead in this game. That's a lovely through ball from Jerome Simpson, and Andy Tunnicliffe tucks it away. It's actually a more difficult chance than the one he didn't convert in the first half, but that is such an important goal for us. Whew, we could do without extra time, though. Tell you what. Not going to get that far, though, is it? Holland are attacking again. Look at all the space they have out wide on the right. Their Steele is just battered. Talbot intercepts, so finds Whitfield, who's got space to run into and has a ridiculously audacious shot from range. What was he thinking there? Right, the one that got away. We're going to need you in a minute because Kyle Whitfield is not an England player. That is becoming blindingly obvious the longer this game goes on. Right, 25 minutes left. It's time. It's time. The one that got away. On for Kyle Whitfield. And also, what are we going to do? I mean, Jerome Simpson is absolutely shattered. And we have got Michael Robinson, who's basically the same player. So we'll bring him on. And hopefully, between the two of them, 2 attacking changes just to try and nick a goal. Steele is in again. What a tackle that was. He really wants a World Cup semi-final. Whitfield, the cross to Tunnicliffe. We're 2-1 up. Kyle Whitfield just got an assist and we're taking him straight off. He must think I'm an absolute monster. But we've had the 2 clear-cut chances and we've scored 2 goals. Talbot with an absolute beauty over the top to Whitfield, who just squares it, and we're queuing up to knock that in. And it's 2-1. Liam Talbot should be playing in midfield more often. He's probably one of the few world-class players England have got, and I either have him on the bench or at fullback. Probably need to play him in midfield a bit more, because that was a beautiful lofted through ball for Whitfield to run onto there. And we've got 15 minutes to try and not concede a goal. Oh, but they're in again. Oh, what a save from Matt Lee. And Steele again. He is all over the left-hand side of that pitch. He's the only player we've got out there because Talbot drifts inside so much. You'd think for someone who is used to playing at left-back, he would offer a little bit more support to Steele, but he just doesn't. Right, Lewis Bradford is shattered. Who have we got to come on for him? Midfield options. Do we go for Jacobs, who's played quite a few games in this World Cup, or Wilkes, who's got bags of experience? I think we have to go Wilkes, just because we're familiar with his work. and we're going to do that. So stick Talbot as a defensive one, Adu out as a box-to-box where he is at his best. And we all know Nathan Wilkes is capable of creating from that roaming playmaker role. He did it for Man City. He's done it before for England. Don't concede now, lads. Come on, let's just hold on for what will be an incredibly unlikely quarter-final reprieve. Right, Wilkes to turn it. Oh, that's a poor ball from Nathan Wilkes, and they've got men over, and it's 2-2. Were they offside? I think there was a suggestion of offside, and yet even the commentary is agreeing with it. It all came from such a poor ball from Nathan Wilkes. He's at his revenge for getting rid of him at City and letting him go back to his beloved Liverpool. He's now cost us a place in the World Cup semi-final with such sloppy passing. Right, we've got 5 minutes to nick a winner. Because I think from getting back to where we were, extra time is just going to knock the stuffing out of us. Right, Adu to Wilkes. Robinson is in. Oh, he was offside. It was a lovely little through ball from Tunnicliffe, but Robinson just moved slightly too soon. We've still got 5 minutes. Tunnicliffe intercepts again. He wants it. Adu doesn't. Passing is so sloppy in that midfield. And when you've got Ricardo Jans in there just closing down and doing that, you cannot be as sloppy as we just were. And I think it's all over. Oh, that's been said in the World Cup before. Oh, omens. Oh, no. We were so close. And did I throw that away by bringing Wilkes on? Because the midfield had been performing well up until that point, and that's it. We're out of the World Cup. Matt Kilgallen, it's been an absolute pleasure, sir. But we are done. It's time to call time on the career of Kevin Chapman. We're going to say goodbye to him first, though. Let's have a little look at it. I need to make sure I retire the right manager here, or this could be disastrous. Right, I want to leave the match. Right, we're going to have to continue. Yes, England have been knocked out of the World Cup. Stop looking for Bolton spoilers. There's nothing to see here. Right, let's go and do a final press conference. Yeah, we're out of the competition. Yes, we are very disappointed to be going home. I don't care. Yeah, I don't think we deserved to go out when we did. England, well, I'm not really building on anything. Tunnicliffe did well. Who cares? Right, let's have one last. I feel a bit sad. I'm getting choked up here. It's only bloody. I'm not dying. I still exist. Let you behind the curtain a little bit. It's just me pretending to be my own son in the other bit. Oh, I still get to play the stupid game. Stop crying, you big girl. I'm not actually crying yet. See, not crying. So, this is Kevin Chapman, 51 years old, played 957 games, won 495 of them. Big buds with Charlie Austin, Ryan Giggs, Brendan Rodgers, bizarrely Kieran Farrell, who was a player I had, I think, at Exeter, and he never even got into the side, but he's now manager of Grimsby and obviously thinks I'm a hero. And Paco Gemez, whoever he is, not a big fan of me. Jonas Olsen, Gary Monk, Ryan Shawcross, who's still Ipswich manager. He just doesn't, because he's never quite reached the heights. Ben Gibson, who I've just slagged off in the media constantly for no reason other than the fact he's a bit of a long ball merchant. Still manager of Spurs, long ball, boring. And Craig Noon. Information, we don't know. Right, where is it? History, this is what we want. So, the full overview of the career. We managed 5 clubs. Name them. We managed, what, 5? Hold on. Boston, Exeter, York, Ipswich, Man City. We did do 5. 1 international job. Longest time at the club, 342 days. Shortest time, 364. So, exactly a year. And I guess that would have been at York. That sounds about right. Won 22 awards and won £42 million worth of career earnings. 286 days on holiday. That was this season when I didn't have a club. Don't get excited. I bought 186 players for £1.33 billion and sold only. The camera died. It's back now. I don't know where we got to. A professional would have checked. We were probably around here somewhere. There you go. These are the final rankings then. So officially didn't become a legend. Got to number 2 on the Nationality Hall of Fame. Got to number 6 on the Nation Hall of Fame. Never made it into the Continental or World rankings. And that's going to be a lot. If we have a little look at the competitions, how do we see the competitions that we won during the career? Can we have a look at an overall? This is what we won. Do we not have that? Here it is. This is what we won. So, rundown of the career from start to finish. We're going to do this very quickly. I know this is already quite a long video, but it is the finale to Non-League to Legend. So, started at Boston in 2015-16. In fact, we might do this as a little extra video. I'll put it up later today, just a little rundown of the career, and we'll do that. We'll make this the sadness of being knocked out of the World Cup. So I'll retire properly in the next video, which will be coming up in like 3 or 4 hours. Don't worry, it'll be out today. If you've enjoyed that episode, make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. If you've not checked out the Bolton Battle yet, make sure you do that. My son's in that one, so you want to watch that. And thank you very much for watching.